Hey guys, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and it's Saturday. I'm not working, and driving over to the RV show to check out some RVs. I don't know much about them, and me and the missus are thinking about getting one. She's on her way back from Cali, and I watched the dog. Been up since 3:30. And just pondering like my week, and like I said, I'm refreshed, I'm rejuvenated, but there's always speed bumps in the road, right? So this week a prosecutor said to me I was dealing with a violation of probation, and the prosecutor said, oh, your client's charge had already been reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor. So you already got that discount. You already got that that favor. Forget how the prosecutor said it. You already got that favor, something like that. And there could be some truth in that, but in this particular case, it wasn't. It was because I represented them, and because the alleged victim in the case wouldn't have held up to my cross-examination, because the person was lying. So the state, in an effort to not lose totally, made an offer to change a charge to a misdemeanor. Again, I handled the case, so I know what happened. I know what evidence was on the case. Now, this is a new prosecutor, and the person has a violation of probation. It's just a big assumption, right? And it was kind of like, like a slap in the face. And then I was like, relax, Raj. Slap in the face ain't gonna hurt nobody. Some people just don't know. They speak before they think. And I've been a guy that I've done that. So I just went, okay. And, go about my business about working on the case and trying to reduce the punishment for my client. So I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how you guys do, but I often replay things back in my mind. Some of us say, oh, I should have said that, and I used to be like that. Sometimes I'm like that, but I talk so damn much that I usually can say what I'm thinking, especially if I'm cross-examining someone. It's pretty rare that I'll forget to say something. But sometimes when you're debating someone or discussing an issue, it's always good to, what I do, and again, it's sort of a writing technique, is I throw everything down on paper. And I make sure all my thoughts are there. And they're scrambled. There's a lot of thoughts. And then I walk away. And then I come back and I say, all right, what words don't I need in that? How do I edit that sentence down? How do I edit that paragraph down? How do I edit that page down? And then I ultimately start to break it into bullet points. Dot, 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 dot. And as I'm doing that, sometimes I go, oh yeah, there was something else. Or maybe the way I said sentence 1 and sentence 7 kind of mean the same thing or imply the same thing. So I either combine them or take them out. But I think that just comes with experience. But it was weird. It just kind of bothered me that the prosecutor's like, well, he already got a favor. You don't know that. Like, it's just that's a big assumption. Well, you were charged with felony, and then it got down to a misdemeanor. Well, maybe it was because the police overcharged, or like the evidence wasn't sufficient. I mean, that's like when I think of a test, like the bar exam, that might be option B, but option E is all of the above, right? Not enough evidence, not a credible witness, got a favor, got lucky, whatever you want to call it. maybe it was option E, but it's just weird. And I know, it's funny. I was in court the other day, and there's a prosecutor that I had a case with recently, and I'll tell you the story a little bit. It was a battery case, and on the video, the victim says that my client, punched the guy in the face. But there's a video of it because it happened to get caught on video because there was a camera at the location that they were at. And we're both like, so I started to joke with the prosecutor. I was like, maybe it was like that, Bruce Lee, Roger Foley speed, kidding. Like Bruce Lee, they would have to slow down the film because his punch was so fast. Except my guy was like, in his 50s or something. So probably not that fast, and kind of a big bulky guy. So but the victim insisted that it happened, but me and the prosecutor are looking at it. She's going like, I don't know, and I go, did you see it? Like, because I don't see it. I don't even see it twitch, right? So anyway, I had to take the deposition of that victim, and rather than, and this is what happens in a lot of cases, guys, is sometimes during the deposition or an opportunity where your defense attorney, oops, I need to get off right here, your defense attorney will ultimately convince the victim a different way, like, hey, you know what, you're both nice guys, sometimes we encounter each other on, it's a bad day, things happen, right? We're all swayed by our surroundings and what's occurred. When you see someone who's moody and, I don't know, screaming at a waitress, are they really mad at the waitress, or is there something else going on? Are they struggling in their marriage, or is there something going on with their job, or their finances not right? It's usually something else, or it's usually a multitude of things, and that one action may have sent them over the top. So I asked the prosecutor, I said, hey, before I start the depo, would you mind if I try to talk to the victim and humanize my client a little bit? And ultimately, after about, 30 minutes, the victim said, okay, I agree, like, let's get rid of the case. And so when I saw the prosecutor in court the other day, I said, hey, we got this case, it's another case. And she's like, yeah, you might have to work some magic on this one, Roger. And I was like, why, what's up? She's like, not quite the same as the last time, but two people dealing with I guess you could say a road rage incident, right? So two people get out of their car at a traffic light, honk, honk, finger, finger, F you, that kind of thing. And one person gets pushed, right? So it's a battery. It's like, I don't know that I'd arrest anyone for that, but I don't know. But anyway, so, it's not a strong case, but it's a case because there's an allegation and my client got arrested. So we got to deal with it. And prosecutor probably knew that, hey, you know what, like, everyone knows that trial is expensive, trial is time consuming. A lot of people don't want to spend the money to go to trial and have a jury of their peers determine the facts. So it happens a lot. My God, it's so hard to get a trial these days. For me, it is anyway. So the prosecutor said that you're probably going to have to, basically saying like, hey, we're probably going to have to take a depo and whatever, if you want to try that same tactic again. And I was like, well, I got lucky last time. I was fortunate to be able to convince him. She's like, I got confidence in you. She's like, I don't think this person. Now, here's a prosecutor that sees it for what it is, right? It's a push. Now, if I would have been in front of a different prosecutor, they might be, offering me 12 months of probation, or because the victim is upset, they offer jail time because of Marcy's Law. And it's so weird. You could literally go into courtroom 2 and same facts and get one result, courtroom 3, same facts, get a different result. It happens more and more. And I just think it depends on so many factors, right? I mean, obviously facts, but demeanor of prosecutor, demeanor of judge. Do you have a judge that's very state-oriented, meaning like punish? Do you have one that's kind of like, do you have someone that's neutral, who trains you, what your personal thoughts are on the law and how it goes, right? Some people want to, prosecute a push. I don't know. If someone pushed me, like seriously, like pushed me, and I didn't hit them, would I have them arrested? Like, I can't even fathom that. Like, in my brain, like, I can't be, here's what I think, right? I think you're a lame ass, the P word, the B word. Like, I can't imagine a grown man having another grown man or woman arrested for a push or a slap. Hell, even a punch. Now, if someone's sucker punched, okay, that's different. But if two guys, like one guy's going, I'm going to beat your ass, and oh, you cut me off, and I'm going to beat your ass, and one guy pushes the other guy, like, I don't know, man. Don't get out of your car if you don't want to, like, man up. So that's just Roger P. Foley's philosophy on things. Like, I really, truly believe that men should duke it out. I just do. Like, you have a disagreement, let's go out in the, let's go on the jiu-jitsu mat, let's go in the boxing ring, let's go in the cage, and let's duke it out. I'm not to the death, just let's duke it out and see who wins, right? When one person taps or gives up, like, that's it. Argument settled, you shake hands, you hug it out, and you move on. But I get so many of these little, like, I don't know, fruitcake cases, where people like, oh, my feelings were hurt, like they pushed my shoulder. I'm like, oh goodness gracious. I wish I knew exactly where the fair was. I have no idea. I'm driving down Southern West. I guess I'll see a sign. Hopefully I didn't go too far and miss it. But anyway, so we'll see what happens on that case. Again, it's not the case of the century, but it is what it is. But it's just weird about the differences in prosecutors, judges, I guess defense attorney. Oh, that's what I started to say. Sorry. While I was talking to this prosecutor, I asked about video evidence. And the prosecutor said, oh, you have to order that. We give you a list that shows you where it is, and you have to get it from the police department. Just so weird, because the state already has it, right? But, the prosecutor doesn't make the rule. That comes from higher up the chain of command. And then there's another attorney in line who I really don't know. And I think he's in New Yorker. And I'm a New Yorker, but anyway. He, all of a sudden, he's just like very like, rah, rah, rah. He goes, what? Why is that? Isn't that a discovery violation? And like kind of like just interjecting himself into another's conversation. I was just like, in my mind, I was like, well, that's kind of abrasive, like towards the prosecutor doesn't make that decision. It's and a lot of times the prosecutor go, here you go, Raj. Like, here's the video. Like, thank you so much. The guy did it for me yesterday at the state attorney's office because he knows that it can be a pain in the ass to get the video, and he's like, dude, I just had my secretary send it to you, But this guy was like, it's a discovery violation. So if I go to trial and I don't have this stuff, no, like it's known to you. Like, so that tells me he doesn't really know the law, because if it's known to you, like some state attorney's offices, if you go through the state of Florida like I do, will notify you, like Port St. Lucie, right? St. Lucie County. They just tell you what they got. You got to come there. You got to come there with paper. You got to come there with like a DVD, which no one even has a DVD anymore, or a thumb drive, and you have to download from their drive, and like it's the craziest thing. So the case law says as long as the state has put the defense on notice and the defense can acquire that information, it's not a Brady violation, or discovery violation. So I don't know. And then after that guy walked away, I kind of whispered down to the prosecutors, like, God, I hope I don't ever come across like that, like I'm a know-it-all and stuff like that, and she's like, oh, don't worry, And I go, well, thank you, you think that, but there's a lot of prosecutors that probably put me in the same category as that guy. So anyway, I'm gonna go check out some RVs. I know there's one guy on my YouTube channel is going, Roger, you talk too much. People only like to see 3 to 5 minutes. I go, just watch 3 to 5 minutes of it video then, or watch 3 to 5 minutes today and 3 to 5 minutes tomorrow. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. Peace. See ya.